Alrighty then. Today I'm just going to do a video, I'll say quick, but it probably won't be. This is about these, well, basically they're FM radio, Bluetooth, or well, FM radio, mp3 players. Some have Bluetooth, some don't. You can find these on eBay. They come in a large variety of shapes. Some of them are round, some are oval. Some of them have displays on them, some don't. The ones without displays usually do not have FM radio on them. Some have Bluetooth, and some don't. So basically what these are, and each of these are kind of different. This one has an SD and an MMC card and a USB connector. This one has a USB, also has SD card. This in port, I'm not really sure what that is, and the reason I say that is because a lot of these come with no instructions at all. I did read somewhere, someone reported that if you plug a phone into that, you'll fry it. I think on some of these, I've even seen these marked as a charging port, but I don't really know what you plug into that. This one, as you can see, doesn't have a on-off switch. This one does. And then we have this one. Once again, SD, MMC card, USB. This one obviously has Bluetooth. Just going to go over this relatively quickly here. They all have pretty much the same thing on them. They all have, I'll zoom in a little bit on this if we can. They all have this little CPU, and I've looked up the numbers on it, and I can't find any information whatsoever on them. Just don't exist. The other, let me look at something real quick. So in this case, what we have here is, and this stuff is always badly marked, if it's marked at all. This is your power in. This is your speaker out, and this is a line in. Oops, speaker out, line in, and this little module on the back side, that's Bluetooth. One of the things you want to look for when you are buying these online is you want one with a voltage regulator. Some of them do not have them. Usually if they don't have them, they will specify a specific voltage, like 5 volts. The ones with voltage regulators usually will say a range of voltages, or they'll say 12 volts. But if they have pictures, you want to look for the voltage regulator. That's this right here. This is a 5 volt voltage regulator. It can handle voltages anywhere from 6 volts all the way up to, I think I've looked up the specs, 35 volts, although it's not recommended that you give it much more than, say, 10 or 12 volts. I mean, it's not so much the amount of voltage, it's the difference. If there's a huge difference and something shorts, it'll just fry this real quick. So let's look at, oh, and then this one comes with the display. Doesn't have a display, and then it has a sticker that goes on it. Not really sure the reason for that, other than maybe different colors. So this one is also, you know, pretty much the same. Power in. This is a line in, or aux. This is speakers out. There are other things on here that are not clear. One of them is this is marked 5 volts ground. I don't know what that is, since the voltage in is over here. We have I think that hold on to get my loop. Huh, well, this one has a microphone in, and then it has a battery connector. The battery connector is, you can hook up a small 3 or 4 volt lithium polymer battery. This is a guess, by the way, there's no instructions. And it's used to keep the the clock. They do have a clock in them. And then there's this, and this one is kind of weird. No, that's nice. It's marked, I believe at the bottom is LED, 3.3 volts, ground, and key. And I don't know what that's for. No instructions came with it. By the way, you can get these at other places. I think Alibaba, Banggood. So this is the last one. This one also has Bluetooth, speaker out. I believe this is a line in, and then this is your voltage in. Once again, this one has a voltage regulator on it. CPU, FM chip, and these things have a small EEPROM on them. I believe they use it to store the radio stations. You can program radio stations in here. Once again, let's see. Yeah, this one has a different FM chip, and then the little EEPROM, and same with this one, FM chip, EEPROM. I was going to post data sheets, but I really couldn't find that many. Oh, one other thing, they come with remotes. The remotes are not interchangeable. I mean, sometimes you can, if you press buttons, they will do things, but what they're labeled at is different. And also I've found that for some odd reason, some of them, they're not stuck on very well, and in this case, this one has completely come off, just sitting on my shelf. I could probably clean the glue off. You can see that there's not much for it to stick to. You just have these ridges in here. So what do you use these things for? Well, the common usage for these seems to be if you wanted to add an MP3 player to your car stereo or something. That's what they always seem to sell them as being used for. There's lots of pictures of them installed in people's cars. Really, if you were going to do that, most modern cars, most modern stereos have MP3 players in them, but I mean, I guess if you're really poor or something, you could hook these things in. I don't know. I've used them to to make my own little boom box, and also to turn old tube clock radios into add FM to an old AM clock radio and MP3 player. But you can use them to add FM and MP3 abilities to I don't know, any kind of audio project you'd like. Prices, I've seen them as low as like $2 or $3, not including shipping, and as high as $20. The prices are all over the place. The goofy thing about them is sometimes the units themselves are really expensive, but you can find units that have been put into a small aluminum case, and they have, you know, an antenna and a small amplifier. Everything's all built in, and they're cheaper than, you know, they'll be like $5 or $10, whereas some of these are $20. It's really goofy. Oh, one other thing. The output of these is not very loud as they sit. I didn't really see an amplifier chip on these, but what you really need is you need an amplifier for them, something that will boost it. Otherwise, you know, it's just barely audible. So I think that's about it. I will put links in the video to the to things that I've built with these, and I've posted on YouTube on my other channel. Anyways, I think that's it.